All right, Jay, we're looking at the top prospects at quarterback in this year's NFL draft. Number one, probably, maybe overall, Cam Ward, best quarterback in the draft. What stands out to you when you turn on the tape? And if you're a GM, what makes you say, I am all in on this guy?
Well, his production throughout his career. 3 different schools. He's been awesome wherever he's been.
Incarnate Word.
Yep. Second school is Washington State. And then University of Miami,
That's right.
The big U. Yeah, he's been awesome. He has effortless accuracy. He can throw the ball any window he wants to. Anticipation, touch. He lets the receivers catch and run with it. He's 6'2", 220 pounds. He's got pretty good mobility, not overly mobile, not like Lamar Jackson type mobile, but he's got enough mobility to escape pressure and make plays with his legs. But I just love the fact that he's been successful. He's thrown for 158 touchdowns in his career. I think that's a record in college football. Yeah. That's pretty good,
that's
right?
Good. Yeah.
So you know he can make the big time throws. He's played at big time programs and he's been very successful. He's a great competitor. You can tell that just on the little things I've seen on television with him and Shador interacting in the workouts. He's got a great demeanor about him. He's very confident in his ability, and that's important in pro football.
That's right.
A lot to like about his game, that's for sure.
Dude's from West Columbia, Texas, about an hour south of Houston. Went to a 3A high school, had a ton of success. His only scholarship offer was to go to Incarnate Word in San Antonio. Crushed it, went to Washington State, came to Miami. I love that about him. Like, he's been successful at every stop. I think what separates him is his playmaking ability, like his ability to scramble around and make plays. Sometimes it hurts him. Sometimes he's looking for that highlight play every now and then. But his ability to do that, to me, when you look at all the quarterbacks in this draft, is what kind of separates him from the pack.
How about his poise? Do you like that? Is it too much poise? Is he too calm?
It can be calm, too calm at times.
Sometimes you want to kick him in the rear end and say, man, pick it up a little bit. He just stands there in a pocket chilling.
Yeah.
But you got to like that about him. He has no fear whatsoever. The game's not too big for him. So I think when he makes a step to the NFL, I don't think he's going to be like, oh my God, look at these guys. He's going to fit right in. He's a baller.
He won the Davey O'Brien. And so I was there. I listened to him talk. You can tell he's an alpha. You can tell that, like, he's the guy. Like, he'll dictate to everybody. He has no shame in doing it. Like, he wants the ball in his hands. He wants everybody to be listening to what he takes control. He takes command. When you talk about arm talent, right, does he have the best arm talent in the draft?
I think he's got the quickest whip, that's for sure. Quick and accurate. I love that about him. I think in the NFL, people have to understand there's rush is going to be coming. You got to get the ball out. You got to be ready to throw at all times. And I think his feet and his arm translate well to pressure situations. When the pocket is not clean, he can get the ball out and get it out accurately with different arm angles. Sometimes it's kind of too low of a release. I like to get him up a little bit higher, but for the most part, he handles pressure. He can throw in the pockets clean. He can anticipate. He can wait for things to develop. He's got it all.
When you talk about improvements that he could make or some weaknesses in his game, I wouldn't call them weaknesses, but things he needs to work on. To me, sometimes when you watch him play, he's always looking for a little bit of Caleb Williams in there. He's looking for that highlight reel play. Maybe instead of hitting the shallow cross, which we know he's good at, we know he's accurate with the football, he's trying to make that big play all the time. When that goes into the NFL, like, you can't be living in that world all the time. The NFL is about first downs, moving the chains. You don't want to take that away. You don't want to. He has the ability to play street ball at times, but when I watch his game, sometimes as a risk taker, like, it's created some unnecessary turnover.
Yeah, for sure. I think the thing he probably needs to work on too is sense of urgency just needs to rise a little bit. I think sometimes he gets too lackadaisical in the pocket, too chill. You're too cool sometimes. Just pick up the sense of urgency a little bit, like you're saying. That way you'll be ready to throw the ball a lot quicker. Take the completion, man. Take the profit. Don't always wait for the big play. Yeah. He's going to be fine, though. I think Tennessee, whoever takes him in the first round, is going to be very happy.
We're talking about being smooth and relaxed, sometimes a little bit too uncomfortable, but this dude can make any throw on any platform. He produces a ton of highlights. There's your little whip.
It doesn't even look like he's getting ready to throw it, and all of a sudden it's gone. Just like that. So it's going to be very hard for defenses to read his eyes and all that stuff because the ball is just out so fast. I mean, he's got a really quick whip. It's a little bit of a lower release. I think he'll have some balls batted in the NFL. That's what you want, man. Accuracy, and then he has enough zip to hit it in tight seam windows, out windows, corner windows, and enough touch to hit it over linebackers' heads. He's got every throw in the bag for him. He's very successful.
He has the ability to rip it in seams on the money, and he has the ability to kind of touch it over backers, touch it in between safeties.
You have to have enough speed on the ball and enough touch on the ball. It's like over the linebacker, but enough zip to get it down in front of the safety. And that's a tough throw.
He's not the most elusive guy, but when he gets out in the open field, he makes some plays. He's good throwing on the run, throwing off platform. He shows a lot of good instincts from that standpoint, but he shows the athletic ability at times.
I wouldn't consider him an overly great athlete, but a good enough athlete to make some plays. And he has 4 or 5 rushing touchdowns this past year, so he can run for first downs as well, which is critical because you're going to get pressure. The left guard's going to get beat. You're going to have to make some people miss within the pocket. He's got enough athletic ability to do that, but I wouldn't put him in a category of elite athleticism at the quarterback position. Look at him just chilling back there, just bouncing on his toes, and then feels the pocket collapse, keeps his head on a swivel, looking downfield. And in this throw on the back of the end zone, throwing to his left, and the only spot the receiver can have, touchdown. Against my school, the Louisville Cardinals. Come on, Cam. Be easy on my boys.
A lot of times when I see these guys that they're going to the NFL, moving around and making plays like this, like where this shows up the most to me is when you get in the red zone. As a young quarterback in the NFL, that was always the most challenging part of like most touchdowns, or a lot of the touchdowns in the NFL. We watched film of Aaron Rodgers and all these extending plays in the red zone, and their ability to just naturally do that. That's where it's going to show up a ton. I think Cam Ward has that ability.
Yeah, I mean, because you're going to get the all-out pressure in the red zone, then you're going to get the drop 8 where you have to buy
eyes on you everywhere.
Finding it. But if you look at that last clip, his nonchalantness could get him in trouble. Can you see him rolling to his left and just holding the ball down low? That NFL defensive ends are going to be a lot quicker than that guy from Louisville. That could be a sack fumble right there. And he's got to have the ability. He has to understand that Myles Garrett, T.J. Watt, watch number 9 right here. The closing speed, he doesn't quite have it. But when you're losing the ball down here and just chilling, I think he just needs to work on his fundamentals within the pocket. Keep 2 hands on the ball. Be sure. Very similar to Caleb, like you mentioned. Both of them are very insecure with the ball in very critical moments.
You're never going to have a pocket like that to start, first of all. You're never just going to take 3 bounces in the pocket and just be like, okay, where? No. Bam! You're going to get hit.
Exactly.
Like, so the calmness and the coolness in the pocket is a great attribute to have. And the quick release that we saw is a great attribute to have. But the ability to just know that like things are in rhythm, things are on time, like that's going to speed up. He'll figure it out. His biggest strengths to us are his accuracy, but he does show his athletic ability at times. His movement, throwing off platform, moving out of the pocket. And when he gets in the open field, sometimes he can be pretty elusive.
He can be. He's what we call a nuisance runner. Not a great runner, but he's a pain in the ass for the defense to defend because you get pressure. He can get outside the tackle box. And now he's really looking for throwing the football, not running it. He can run for first downs, which is huge. He can run for touchdowns. Obviously, that's huge. But he can play within the pocket, and he just has enough athleticism to beat you outside the pocket. So he's not Jaden Daniels outside the pocket, but he does have enough athletic ability that, you have to be secure in your pass lanes to be successful against this guy, or he'll hurt you within or outside the pocket.
What part of his game just makes him elevated above everybody else?
Well, not having a chance to meet him, I just like his demeanor and his poise, his success that he's had in his career at different locations, different spots. His production has been just outrageous. His leadership ability obviously has been proven by his success at Washington State and Miami. Took him to a bowl game. Obviously, I would have loved to see him play the second half in that bowl game, but can't knock him for that. Can't knock him for that.
Yeah.
But I just like the fact that he has a skill set that is NFL ready. Right? He's played in different systems. He's obviously a smart kid. He can beat you in the pocket, outside the pocket, and most importantly, he's a very accurate thrower of the football. The athleticism, all the other stuff, all the cool stuff. I want somebody who can take his 5-step drop, 3-step drop, hit his back foot, and throw it accurately to people, uncovered people, anticipate them, and get the ball to the right people, and I think he can do that.
I think his anticipation when he plays on time, when he plays like seam throws, it is eyes away, holding the safety, bow. There's velocity in there. He has the touch to flip it over to linebackers, hook players. That's what I look for when you're translating into NFL. I mean, he's made big plays, right? He's probably made more big plays than any other quarterback in this draft. His ability to do that is great. But his anticipation on throws is what jumps off the tape.
He has a lot of throws where, like, he's throwing a 12-yard out route to the slot guy, and he sees the corner gone, and he's throwing that out route just with perfect touch and anticipation before the guy turns and looks.
That's right.
And he turns, and the ball's right there in his hands. And those are the throws that I like. Those are the ones that really excite me. He has a trust and understanding. I'm going to get the ball out, float it out there before the guy looking, and he turns around, the ball's right in his hands. And that's why I like him the best as far as a pure passer in this draft, with the arm strength, the anticipation, accuracy, and then the ability to move, ad-lib plays. Not too many, but he has enough ability to do that.
Yeah, enough. Tennessee number 1, you think?
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple good players at number 1, but They need a quarterback. I mean, are you going to play Will Levis again another year, or are you going to
No.
play against this guy who's going to go to either Cleveland or the Jets or the Giants or somebody? There's 7 or 8 teams that really need a quarterback and are dying to get this guy, I'm sure. Tennessee's got a tough decision.
But we also talk about C.J. Stroud kind of ruined it for some of these rookie quarterbacks. Jaden Daniels. I mean, I don't know if Tennessee has the team around them to be able to do that, but do you think Cam Ward can come in and have the type of success that those two guys had as top picks in the draft?
Coaches are a little bit leery now of let's get this quarterback and develop him, or, if you don't win right away, you're out of here. Develop him for somebody else. I'd love to start with this guy, give him an opportunity to put the ball in his hands just because I know he's confident, he's got the poise, he's got the ability. Let's see what he can do.
Yeah.
Roll it out there, Tennessee. Take him.
Love breaking down these quarterbacks with Jay Gruden, the best in the business. Make sure to subscribe. Keep tuning in to our channel, Clean Pocket.
Spice up your sports viewing experience with the Underdog app. Underdog is the best place to play. Pick 'em on all of your favorite sports. Just choose higher or lower on your favorite players' stats, and you can join the millions of fans who have won billions of dollars on Underdog. What are you waiting for? Sign up now using promo code POCKET. That's POCKET, and you can get up to $1,000 in bonus credits. Download the Underdog app or visit UnderdogFantasy.com to get started today.